Well, things are happening faster than anyone could keep up on them. And it's true with the amount of money coming out and how fast it's coming out, and where it is, and they keep changing the regulations every day on it. So really, you got to keep up on it yourself, and don't rely on me or anybody else because see, a lot of it's local. Now, let me show you how, like in the last 7 days, all the new programs that give out money because of the COVID that happen in your state. And you can find them now. And you don't get overwhelmed either by using Google if you use it correctly. So if you go to Google and like here, put COVID, COVID, grants, and your state, okay? So now what you're looking for are grants that they're giving out to COVID. And this is the first time I see, before they're all calling it grants. See, all the traditional programs, they don't call grants anymore. It's direct payments and all these other words. So this is good, what's going on. Now, the problem is, though, here you got 130 million websites, okay? That's too much, right? So you can't do anything with that. And that's just for Ohio. Now, who knows about all the junk is in there? Most of it's going to be people trying to sell you something. So what you do is you come over here to settings, you go to advanced search, okay? And then you just want like the ones that are in the last, maybe you could see over here, last update. See, now it's anytime. So anytime means you have 130 million, okay? Now maybe you could put it down to just the last 30 days, so the last month. You could put that. Because see, what happens, a lot of these COVID grants, that they have so much money, like in California, they were giving out $100 million for help people pay for rent. And gosh, I mean, it was gone in the first couple of days, So you have that, and actually what they're doing now, a lot of states are doing it lottery. So they're going to open up that just you could apply in the next 7 days, and it's not first come, first serve, but then they have a lottery. So if, 100 people applying, they only have 10 grants, then they're going to do a lottery and give out 10. Okay. So here's what we got now. So we got this down from 130 million, and you just go through this slowly. And when you go through, see, like here, .com. Now, I normally would say, forget about .com because they're probably going to sell you something. But this is okay because it's news5cleveland.com. That means it's a news organization. They're not trying to get money from you. They're trying to educate you. So that's probably, no problem. And so on Tuesday, they're talking about the first round of funding for emergency supplemental. So here they're giving out $2 million, okay? They are. Now, whether it's in the Cleveland area or it sounds like it's all of Ohio. So that's a $2 million pot there, okay? Greater Cleveland COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund. That's another one, okay? Now that looks like for Northeast Ohio Philanthropic Corporate and Civic Partner. So this is where they're giving the money to nonprofit organizations, which in turn goes to individuals. So you will click on that, find out what nonprofit organizations were getting that money, and they're the people you want to contact and try to find. Okay, new risk levels, a higher education. That's not money yet. Grants and loans for Ohio small business in eligible areas to support during the COVID crisis. Okay, so here's something. Actually, that's Grant Watch. Now that's that's a service that charges you to keep charge of grants. Now, most of those are just used by nonprofit organizations, and it won't be services that are available or other kinds of money that is not grants. So be careful with that. They're going to charge you maybe $100, $200, $300. Okay, but here, Cleveland.com. Okay, awards $1.8 million, to grants in Cleveland. So that's another source. Okay, where are those grants going to? Who are they going through? You want to be there first, be first in line or second in line. That's usually good enough. Here's an Ohio funding fact sheet. Fact sheet covers new resources available to respond to homelessness. So if somebody's homeless, you are maybe being homeless. So you can go there and find out about new programs that got millions of dollars to help prevent that. Okay, here. Portman Senate. Oh, this is a senator, I guess, the U.S. senator maybe. He talks about new federal grants as good news from folks in Ohio. So they're talking about new ones. that are from your senator. Grants and funding opportunities. This is MVRPC. Funding opportunities for minority micro enterprise grants. See, this is minority businesses and other businesses. Community project requires. See, so here's business grants. Funding opportunities. Okay, now these are new as of this month. So 30 days. So that's why you have a better chance of getting these than just doing a regular grant search. W Pioneers, the Pandemic Relief Program. I know. I looked at this a little earlier here. This is hard. Where's the Pandemic Relief? I guess WR Pioneers Pandemic Relief Program. Okay, here, if you worked in the movie theater business, you were an usher at the movie theater, click to apply for Phase 2 emergency grants. See, that's personal grants for people who used to be working the local movies. They're not working too much anymore, are they? So that's the kind of stuff that's out there. See, and this is how to find them. Okay, let's see what's on page 2. Relief, the official secure current. Your gift will help homeless. Okay, that's really looking for money. Help neighbors in need. Give monthly donate. So that's another one. Okay, that is also going out to families. So they're raising money, but now it's all going out to families. So these are people. I mean, this thing is to try to raise money, but this group then gives the money out to people who need it. So they're the ones you want. Columbus Foundation responds from Mike Devine declared a state of emergency. Grants will support organization responding to the needs of marginalized. See, a lot of this government money is going to nonprofit organizations, which in turn goes to individuals. So that's why you have to track it that way. And to me, this is the only way I know, to do this. Here, Ohio Credit Union League. Grant Relief provides credit unions with an opportunity to help their members mitigate the financial impact of COVID pandemic. So this is grant money given to credit unions to use to help their customers. Wow. Who'd have thought? Okay, here's SBA money. See, and don't forget, every website here is been up only 30 days ago, or they made a change in 30 days. Okay, Ohio educators question COVID funding needs. I don't know if you want to know about that. Criminal Justice Agency qualified grants, first round. Well, maybe if you're in law enforcement, you want that. Social impacts of COVID in Ohio. New funding is there to help actually with food and health care and things like that. So now if you're having a food insecurity program and things like that, that's a source to contact. It's all about finding leads. FEMA, $10 million for a grant for people in Ohio who are having emergency problems. So it goes on and on like that. So charity, you got to be careful with that, even though it's a .org. Small business money, pandemic relief program for new business owners, small family ranchers, all these things are available. See, EPA, ensure compliance with precautionary members. The average person maybe not, but maybe if you have an organization. Local history services. Wow, recipients of emergency grants. So you're involved in local history. Something with SSA, Social Security, philanthropy empowering, business owners report, small business grants there. City Beat, grants awarded to tackle social impacts of COVID. Ohio awards first round of COVID emergency money. See, that's it. You have to get leads and then track them down. I mean, I know it'd be nice if somebody gave you the one source that had everything there, but it's not. And nothing's going to be that easy. And you're going to miss so much if you don't do the work. Ohio awards first round of emergency grants to 57 groups. Ohio hospitals, grants awarded to tackle social impacts again. See, they're sending out money all over. Businesses to use state grant. So there's businesses in Ohio now to get a whole bunch of money there. A bill, Ohio ensures Ohio businesses taking reasonable precautions against the spread of COVID. So if you have a business and you have to worry about your employees, there's a grant for that. Apply for a grant. Community Foundation, crisis relief and stabilization grants. We all could use that. We got to stabilize our life, man. Emergency response money there. I mean, just goes on and on. You got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sources there. And remember the one I did the other day, $3 million given to small businesses in Northeast Ohio. Here's another one. Ohio educators, there's one. Local history. Didn't I just mention that? Maybe I went to the same page. Grants awarded tackle social. Ohio awards first round. All these things. 717. Ohio County confirms death. Well, that's Northeast Ohio. Uses state grant for Ohio manufacturers that want to make protective equipment. So you want to make masks for people. They have grants for that. The Senate committee considering build a grant. Okay, apply for a grant. Here at BuckeyeHills.org. They have resources there. Emergency Response Fund. All these. It's crazy time out there, and it's going to be the people who do the digging that's going to get it. And because so much of this is local, you have to do more of the digging than I do. So that's what I'm trying to do is teach you how to do the research. Now, another thing you should do with research is getting, and I showed you this once before, is how to get notified. And that's alert. So you put an ALERTS and then Google for alerts, google.com, and then you get this, and you put, okay, what do you want to do alerts for? Okay, you could put, maybe COVID, COVID grants in Ohio for your state. And so if you don't put in your state or something, you're going to get them for all over. And then this is the news things that come up every day, and you fill out the rest of the form, and they'll tell you what to do. Here, to create an alert right here. See that? Okay, you just create that alert. I did this already. State grants, Ohio. See right there. And I can edit it if I want. And again, if okay, now see there. So anything new that comes up, how often? Once a day, automatic, English, any region. Well, you have Ohio, so that's okay. So you don't have to do anything else. So that means tomorrow morning I'm going to get all the new ones, that pop up in Google that has something to do with COVID grants in Ohio. And remember, if you make the effort to contact one of these organizations, and you want to know more about it, and they say, oh no, well that's not for you. You have to be only 4'3" tall. That's who gets this money. So if there's some reason you can't get, then you ask them, hey, where else? Because they'll know about other places, that you could check, particularly local. It's hard to keep track of all these local organizations. So that's why it's use the people who are involved in this locally to help you keep track of it. They know about stuff. They'll know about things that won't even be in Google yet. That's where the real opportunities are. Another thing I talked about is a couple of things that are going on. This Monday, they're going to start talking about new stimulus package. And it looks like there's going to be something, So it's not going to be nothing. We're just too bad off. And the numbers are worse. And so people are going to be out of work more. How much or what? I know everybody is guessing. But it looks like both parties are going to do something. They feel they have to do something. That's what it looks like now. The other thing is the 2 business loans are not only for business, they're also for entrepreneurs, gig workers, freelancers, stuff like that. So you apply for those. You don't need an EIN or an LLC or all that thing. So if you go to here, SBA.gov, SBA.gov, and you look for the PPP or the EIDL money, okay? And they're right here. Both of them are right here. Now, the EID money that's a grant, usually up to $10,000 grant, and then a loan. But the grant money is gone. So maybe if you got applied before they ran out of grant money, you may get the grant. But otherwise, you'll get a loan. You get a loan. You go out, borrow X amount of dollars. And they tell you how much, they'll let you borrow. And I think that's a good deal because it's only 1% interest. So if you have credit card debt or anything like that, you take that money, pay off your credit card debt, and pay off the Small Business Administration instead. They're nicer creditors to have. You know? They're less likely to come out, throw you in jail like like credit card companies will. And also the Paycheck Protection Program. Now that's part of it is they still have money too. You know, now EDIL only has the money, the loan money, but it's good money. Now the PPP, that's Paycheck Protection, you get a grant write-off if you pay salary with it, and that's your salary. It can be or anything. But also what they're talking about is making that a complete grant, at least maybe up to a certain level. So like maybe they're talking about maybe $50,000. So if your PPP money was $50,000 or less, what they're talking about maybe, don't know for sure yet, that they'll eliminate it all. Because now what you have to do is prove that you use 60% of that. You could you could get a grant for 60% of that, you know, and for for employees and some other expenses. And because they have 4 million people or more, something like that, they gave out more, you know, loans and grants this past 3-4 months than they have in the entire history of the Small Business Administration. So they're overwhelmed. They're so screwed up. And this PPP requires you to verify how you spent that money so you can get that portion written off as a grant. What they're so screwed up, they don't have those regulations yet, so they can't give it to the banks who are handling this stuff and everything. They are so screwed up. They can't handle all this money. It's sort of like the unemployment people. They just can't handle this way. They're not set up. I mean, it takes years to grow into that from zero. You know, so they're looking at solve the problem is just give it all as a grant. Crazy. This is the way people think in Washington. You know, you and I would never think of that. So that's why if you got a PPP loan and you couldn't write it all off as a grant, well, they may say it's okay to that. The worst case is you pay it back. The third worst case is that you have to pay 3% interest. And I don't think it's something like that, 2.5%, 3.5% interest. That's still better than 15, 20% of the credit card companies. And I don't think there's a penalty for repaying early. So that's something to consider. And that's, again, you could be a freelancer or a gig economy, or you don't have to be a real business, just making money, not with a 1099, not a 10 W-2. That's what it is. Okay. So I'll see you at Let's Go Help. Keep those cards and letters coming. I get so many wonderful messages from people, how much money they got and everything. And it's not my money. I mean, I sort of feel, like I get, no, I didn't really do anything, just point them. Yeah. And that's all I do. I can't guarantee you get money. I don't really know. The people handing out the money are the only ones who can guarantee it. So anybody else guarantees you a grant or something, they're full of shit.